Hey guys, welcome to our review of The Mandalorian, Episode 1. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Makotoa.
Dude, welcome to whatever this we're doing. So, The Mandalorian came out, we watched it, and as usual, we figured, oh yeah, two dudes could talk about it on the internet, and that's the most original thing that we could come up with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought it was enjoyable. The first little chunk of it definitely felt like trailer bait, and then the rest of it felt like, oh, this is what the show actually is gonna
Yeah,
be.
I absolutely agree. And
I had to compartmentalize it like that because the portrayal of the character just felt so different after he had collected the bounty. You know what I mean? Like he was this cool, suave dude shooting them up, and he knew exactly what to do until he started on this next mission, and then he's all sort of fumbling around with a fat monster and all that stuff.
okay, I mean, yeah, we got to see him be a cool guy at the
Yeah,
beginning, and
yeah.
then, get a little bit more humanization, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna
Vandalization.
I wanna I wanna ask you, Corey, because this is just something that I had a feeling about. I don't know. Maybe it's because, I've been watching Toku with the group this long, but that opening scene where, he was fighting off a couple of different people and he did like the grapple hook thing to the guy who was trying to escape and like did it feel like the cuts were a little laggy? Like they didn't
Yeah.
have the impact because at least when I'm like, I mean, we just got off of some really legit fights with Ryu soldiers. So maybe I'm just like thinking, wow, comparatively. But I don't know. I felt like I've seen better and I expected that with what we were supposed to have. This was like the opening segment and it did feel a little bit not quite on point.
I definitely agree with you there. I don't know if it lagged, but what I saw was that there were a lot of cuts within the fight.
Yeah.
And I watched an interview with Jackie Chan, and he said that like a bigger sort of issue or style that he doesn't like about American fight choreography is that they cut. They don't, pull back and let the scene breathe as much, so
Yeah.
that you can't see the choreography as much. Which it's not to say that the choreography wasn't done well or anything. It's just that we didn't get to enjoy it as
Yeah.
much.
It's
And
an
those
easy way to
cuts,
hide bad
that's
choreography too.
yeah, that's the thing. Like even if there is good choreography, it's a telltale sign of maybe it's not that great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, but I don't want to crap on it too much
No,
because
it
I
was
mean,
serviceable. It was serviceable.
it was fine.
I was just thinking like from just because we review Toku a lot, might as well give that side of our palette.
Ah, I see. You're trying to add value that only we can add.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exact.
Uh,
I mean, it worked. You just gave some pretty good opinions
I
from,
guess. Yeah.
you
Uh,
know.
well, and then I guess weirdly this the I guess references that stuck out to me were like two really big Star Wars Christmas special ones.
Yeah, the Life Day.
Well, yeah, the Life Day, and in Boba Fett's first appearance, he has that sort of laser rifle gun thing that he
I
used.
remember. I
Yeah.
remember.
Um, and I have a feeling I noticed it in the trailers, and immediately I wanted like a split between live action and then that cartoon, and I kind of want to put that as the thumbnail. So
Oh,
if that's why you clicked on this video, then we did
yeah,
it.
good stuff.
um, yeah, so that was certainly something. At the beginning of it, uh, like I was saying, it showed him as sort of ruthless and like very cordial or very like no nonsense about his bounty hunting. And then once we got to that other planet, um, there was a distinct shift in his character that I was sort of touching upon at the top of the episode. Um, it definitely felt weird, and I definitely noticed like, oh, he's not quite what I was expecting, and I don't know, maybe that's a good thing because if it was just him gunslinging being cool the whole time, that might get stale. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
It
Uh,
gives him time to grow into the role, especially seeing as, and this was just something I noticed when we finally got to like see him for a good while, some continuous shots of him walking through like villages and stuff or whatever in that cantina area. Like I was having a good look at his armor, and he's kind of raggedy. He doesn't seem to be like top notch, but that's the thing. And I'm glad they went this direction with the payment he got was some kind of very special steel that I guess Mandalorians have been known for, or it's like, they said it's good to have it back in the clan, that kind of stuff. I'm sure that has some deeper lore meanings for people who like do EU stuff. But for me, that was really great because it ended up becoming a part of his armor. So to me, that means we're going to see his armor continually upgrade and get better as the show progresses. And
that means
so
each time he goes on the mission and gets an item drop, he can send it to the forge and then level up with whatever he gets.
I'm on board
Um,
with that. I'm on board with it.
I
I
mean,
want to see his final aesthetic. Does he get a
I
jetpack?
I'm more interested in sort of what it means to the clan, and I really appreciate uh there is a level of immersion where they name things weird just for the sake of naming things weird because it's in space. But they somehow found a way to like make their colloquial sound similar enough to ours to where it was like almost instant where you understood through context clues and also like the sound of the word, like the porthole or whatever, like the whatever he said about the bathroom sounded
Yeah,
like bathroom for a second. Like I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if it was
It's a
intentional, but
synonym.
like not really synonym, but it sounded alike. It's like a sound alike, and it like easily roped you into what they were trying to say,
Yeah,
along with some other
you
things.
knew what he was talking about.
You
I personally didn't like that blue dude. I mean, he had to be the one talking because our hero isn't going to be, right? So, but like he just talked too much for my taste on that trip. But I mean, he was
uh,
only in the first like quarter, maybe third
yeah.
of the episode, so
I knew he wasn't long for this world, so I was like, all
yeah.
right, yeah. Like, obviously, you get jittery and want to do some, like, you'd want something from this guy who's about to turn you in, right?
He gave
Or
him
at least,
nothing.
or like just interaction, just something before you're about to go. At least some sort of sympathy, some shred of humanity or humandalority.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, I'm going with it. Um,
Probably not.
well, the thing is, he.
That was the only thing he said to him. Probably not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at the end
Uh,
when he threw him in the carbon freeze chamber thing, little
I'm
portal
glad
one.
that their technology has progressed enough to where it used to be this huge giant cylinder in the middle of a cloud city to
Now it's
where
just
it's like
yeah.
localized
Now
within a
it's
ship.
like a bathtub in your
Yeah,
ship. You just throw
yeah.
them in there, cool
I,
down
I
a little.
yeah, I really appreciate the sort of progression of technology in subtle ways. And
Speaking
I
of
thought
which, what did you think of his ship being the very old
it was
clone
fine.
level type stuff?
I thought it was fine. Like it sort of got the ball rolling in terms of okay, maybe this guy's not all he's cracked up to be. Like I said, we got this really cool look at him at the top of the episode. And then slowly and slowly we deconstruct the character and we get to see a little bit of the cracks forming in his
Yeah,
armor.
yeah.
Um and we get to
We've seen Mandalorians that are kind of at the peak of their game with Django.
Mhm.
So, like he had the sick looking ship, he had the shiny new armor. We got to see him fight Obi-Wan episode 2. So, I mean, I'm fine with this grit. I'm fine with this. Like, okay, he's kind of he's he's a bounty hunter, but he's also got those like I don't know. It does give me the same vibes as I get from Han Solo in his role. Not necessarily the character, charisma wise or anything, but just like he's doing the same kind of shady business. He's also kind of I don't know on the how do you say it? Off the cuff. I don't know.
I don't. I
Neither do you. Okay.
Cool.
Apparently, like he doesn't have it all together.
Yeah. I
I mean,
definitely see that now.
couldn't even ride the tick monster. I mean, that's never mind. That's episode 2 as well.
Yeah.
What is
You're
this?
really hooked on episode 2.
What were these things called? I forget.
I don't know, fat ugly monster things.
Yeah,
So that all led to the scene that basically that really well done shootout. That was
I like
pretty
that a
neat.
lot. I
Yeah, it
like
was
that a
fun.
lot. Seeing an IG unit get in on that was fun.
I honestly, I mean, I guess not to jump too far, but I thought he was gonna be around a little longer. I didn't keep too
Yeah,
close to all the leaks and stuff because I kind of
he's
wanted to go in clean.
he's been in the
Um,
promotional like posters and stuff, so I expected him to
yeah,
stick around
yeah.
longer too, like be a
That's
rival
that's the
bounty hunter.
thing. That's the thing. Like the trailers sort of led you in with the cool stuff, which I
Yeah.
mean, that's exactly what trailers are supposed to do, but it painted him as the person we saw at the beginning of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that they made note of that cool stuff and then gave us more character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then uh do we want to just hop to the reveal at the end?
Might as well.
Yeah, as a baby Yodams.
Yeah,
As
I
a baby Yodam.
that's the name of the species.
Yeah,
Yodams.
yeah, little Yodams.
50 years old, I half expected something like this when there was nobody in the room. I'm like, it's probably something small. I was half expecting a droid, or something like that, but a baby Yoda, that's cool. All
Yeah.
right. I
Um,
don't understand why the remnant of the Empire is trying to hunt a baby Yoda, but
they're a rare species,
yeah, that's
plain and simple.
but they wanted him killed or dead. So it was
Well,
like
no, at the during their
the
little
The
chat.
IG was gonna shoot him, remember?
Yeah, the IG did, but
Those were the orders he got. So why would they tell like sure, the other dude said alive is preferable, dead if you must. But why would the IG say alive? Why would dead even be part of the bargain? I don't understand what makes this
maybe he's dangerous. Maybe
so
like because
dangerous,
the only two people of that species we've seen before are
Well, and the
Yoda and
Jedi.
Yaddle,
Yeah.
and they are force sensitive, so that they might
It might be a just
pose a
force
threat.
sensitive species type thing you're saying. Yeah.
Maybe, but we're not sure because this is unknown territory. Even before uh the expanded universe got reset by Disney, it was an unknown species. So there's even more mystery around this now. So what they do with that species is up to them, and I think it's a really neat thing for them to explore. And
Okay.
with Dave Filoni at the helm, hopefully story wise, I think we're in for something at least interesting. Um,
hmm What did you think of his little flashback moment he got at the forge?
I mean, it seems like a lot of Star Wars backstories. Poor family in the middle of turmoil, running away from
The
the war.
Empire, yeah, or something like
Yeah,
that. I feel like that kind of gives those theories that he was actually supposed to be Boba Fett, it kind of throws that out the window a little because like because that was going
well,
around.
like a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
That
because
was that's
that's
not Boba.
definitely not how he grew up.
Exactly. So unless he
Oh
was
wait, no, that's not.
What if he
What
was a
I'm thinking isn't canon anymore.
wait? I mean, his dad died when he was young, but that didn't seem to look like the same kid, and he was just about the same age. So I don't think it's Boba.
I had no idea that people were speculating it was Boba until you brought that up.
There was some fake leaks. I mean, it sounds fake at this point now because of this backstory, but there's people who claim that they've got insider information. Some things end up being right, some don't. I feel like this kind of disproves it because this doesn't seem at all like Boba Fett's backstory. So,
I mean, the I think just how it works out age-wise, it doesn't make sense. Just because
mhm.
this is after the Empire fell, right?
This is, but it's like it's just after the events of episode 6.
But
That
remember,
I mean,
and you
yeah.
think, do you think like he'd get a full armor reset after that?
I mean, maybe it got
You do.
dissolved. Wasn't that something that
If
like,
you're doing Boba Fett, you do Boba Fett. No ifs, ands, or buts.
well, that's the surprise potentially. Is that it's like, oh, end of the season. Look, it's Boba. Oh, we got you, you know.
Eh, I don't know. I don't want that because, like, I just see what this episode did and what it spent a lot of time doing was sort of give you an atmosphere, right? And
Mhm.
ever since, I don't know, as long as I can remember or feel, like Star Wars has always just been that singular story, that singular struggle, and that singular like aesthetic. I never got the spacefaring adventure sort of aspect to it. It just seemed like a story about destiny and these
Mhm.
dudes and doing the force stuff, and it's all about that. But here it's like, okay, this is space. We're gonna explore. We're gonna go to weird worlds. We're gonna see weird people. Do some weird stuff.
I mean, I guess
We're gonna shoot some stuff.
Han Solo was a bit of a departure from that too, because it was kind of that same, smuggler's life trying to weave in and out of the reaches of the Empire or
It's still like
you know.
what Solo and even to an or to a large extent um Rogue One did was like they had a very heavy Empire presence, right?
Mhm.
And that anchored me to, the regular standard Star Wars story. That's, that frame of reference. But here it was so minimalized
Okay.
that it felt a little bit more like what I'm wanting, like a spacefaring adventure.
Okay, I mean, I feel like we're gonna get more into uh the political climate as we go along because his first job, I mean, this big job at least that we're seeing, this was by it's commissioned by the remnant of potentially what we had, the Empire, and then now we're figuring out, oh, they wanted to kill this baby Yoda. He doesn't do it. Does that mean he's going to be on the run? He's going to be in trouble or something? It seems like we're going in that direction of
Well,
exploring the remnant of the Empire. So we're still like,
I still don't think that he was supposed to kill the baby. Like that was not that obviously that's not what the scientist wanted, and it wasn't an ideal situation for that other Imperial dude.
yeah.
So
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I yeah,
So he's
I
still
don't
mission
yeah.
accomplished at this
hmm
point. But does he
I
turn
mean,
him
he
over,
still has
right?
to get there.
Yeah.
What I find interesting is sort of the environment that Yoda was left in. Who hired all those mercenaries or at least bodyguards to make that happen?
Yeah, and this Yoda was just hanging out, just
Yeah.
in the
Did
pile of stuff.
and also did Yoda and Yaddle, is that possibly their child?
Is
How
Yaddle a
did they
female?
huh? Yeah.
Oh.
And like,
If it's
the
50 years old, maybe it is Yoda's kid.
maybe it could be because I think yeah,
Wow.
At the
How okay?
start of
Because yeah, we're at whatever year they're in at the very end of episode 6 is where we're at, just about. So he's 50. Go back 50 years from episode 6. That's like, how old was Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan was 50 at the beginning of the Battle of Yavin, or around 50.
So then that means this Yoda, this Yoda species is about as old as Obi-Wan. So when Obi-Wan was a child, Yoda was still a
Well,
Jedi Master.
yeah, I don't know. I'd give it about like
Well, the
maybe a
Jedi
10-year difference. I don't know.
the
I
Jedi were still in service 50 years from this point. Think? I think so.
maybe. I'm not 100%. But what I was trying to get at is that Ki-Adi-Mundi, who was a sitting member of the council, like, they're not supposed to make attachments or anything, but he was allowed to go back to his home planet because the population was
That's true, yeah.
devastated, so he was able to go back and actually have a family. So it would not be above the council if Yoda had done the same.
That's true.
Or maybe that's why we don't see Yaddle, because she left the order in order to, I don't know, foster the next of their generation. I'm not 100%.
Interesting.
This is just theory crafting at this
It
point.
really is,
And on
yeah.
top of that, there's probably other Legends material, new Legends material that I don't read or watch or any of that contradict it. But that's just what I'm thinking in my head
Exact. Yeah.
spaces.
Yeah.
Um, but
Wow.
yeah, overall, I thought it was a good time, and I'm looking forward to Friday.
I
How about you?
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I feel like it wasn't as bombastic and amazing as I was hoping. It did not really trend much when it was released. I mean, Disney Plus was definitely trending, but Mandalorian didn't really like peak
Well,
like
I
I
mean,
feel like it should have if it was
there's
going to be.
so much for everybody day one.
That's
And on top of that, like, people had trouble getting in.
yeah, I heard about that too.
So I don't know, that could have had something to do with it. Either way. Oh, and on top of that, it's like the appetite for Star Wars is lessened
Yes, that's
considerably.
absolutely true.
So, I
This is
mean, I
their attempt to get the fans back, honestly.
I can understand why it didn't do too bad. I wasn't expecting it to not, to underperform, but this is the world that we live in.
Hmm.
Michael, do you have anything else you wanted to talk about in this episode?
I mean, we could muse on about other random stuff, but we'd get rambly, so I
Yeah,
feel like
we
we're
already did
good.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. We will be doing our best to review every single episode of this stuff. We wanted to try something new. At this point, I'm going to be talking about a lot of channel stuff. If you want to leave, bye, thanks, subscribe, or whatever.
He's
We don't
technically
normally.
a masked rider.
He did ride something and
He
he
did.
did have a mask. The thing is, we don't normally do this stuff. So if you clicked on for the Mandalorian and actually stayed the 24 minutes this took, thanks. You won't get a lot of Star Wars stuff. Your subscriptions will get flooded with Power Rangers, Super Sentai, and Kamen Rider. So that's on you if you subscribe. Don't get our hopes up by subscribing and then leaving 2 days later when you realize, oh, that's not what this channel's about. And then also, tell us in the comments down below what you thought about the episode. I don't know. Keep the discussion going. We're gonna be doing our best to cover this. Keep it juicy.
See you next
all I
time. See you next time.
You know what was a really effective thing for me to get me to subscribe to someone?
What's that?
So they told me, and I forgot the actual statistic.